welcome to episode 34 of Bell to Bell with Bobby Blaze. I am your host, Professor Jeremy Vilmer, and joining us now is the star of the show, the reigning and defending Beat the TV champion of Smoky Mountain Wrestling, Bobby Blaze.
Oh, hey, man, I'm glad you brought that up. Unless they bring that promotion back, I'm going to keep on being the reigning Smoky Mountain TV champion. Yeah,
exactly.
Cool.
I figure we're just going to run with that, yeah.
Yeah, go with it, man. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be back, man. Hey, Jeremy, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Will you be my Valentine?
Bobby, it may come off a little bit gay, but yes, I will be your Valentine.
All right.
I figure the two closest relationships in my life right now are my wife and my co-host, Bobby Blaze.
Well, I don't have a wife, so there you go.
There we have it.
I don't know, did I tell you about the newscast that done that? Caught me in a parking lot, and they exposed a swingers house in this small community.
You know what? We've never talked about it here. I've heard you talk. Go ahead, because we've never talked about it here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I said I'm single, or I didn't say I'm single, I have a wife. I'm single, so give out my number. But basically, this area here, over in Ashland, Huntington tri-state area. Apparently, I didn't know about this. Apparently, I did not know about this. You only hear things, you know. Mm-hmm. So I'm innocent here. And there was a swinger house, and apparently they went to the commission and wanted to make it a business or some sort. Anyway, I go up to get my lottery ticket like I do. I get an afternoon. If I get out, I get a midday, and I get an evening, pick 3, pick 4, whatever, you know. Because I'm one at, the old Hillbilly retirement plan there, play the lottery or whatever. But anyway, I go up there. It's a parking lot of a grocery store, and there's probably 3 or 4 cars in the whole lot because it's during a school day. There's a school within half a mile of each side of it, 2 churches within a couple blocks, a very conservative type area, if you will. And this guy comes up to me, and it's Randy Oey from WOWK, and for all you listeners in the Huntington, Charleston, tri-state area, you know who he is. And he comes up and he says, hey, would you like to answer my question of the day, man? And I'm like, hey, what's the question? He said, I can't ask you until I go, start the camera. And he's a one-man crew, man. He's got the microphone. He's got the camera on his shoulder. And I had done an interview with him years ago, and he just had forgotten, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so I tell him, he goes on like, what's your name? I tell him. And he says, well, and he starts into the thing about this swingers house that had been outed in Ashland and what I thought about it. And man, it kind of I thought, is this a fucking rib or what? You know, I mean, I looked around like I thought, someone's going to jump out and say, punked, we got you. And I was thinking, this is Randy Oey, though. He's on local news. He was on one station, now he's on another. So I'm like, what? And I look and I go, hey, man, whatever, let it. They can do whatever, people do whatever they want to do, And as I'm just stumbling on my word, like, what the fuck did he just ask me or whatever? But basically what I said, I go, you know what? I said, whatever, they can do whatever they want to do. You know what? And I started walking away. I go, just, give him my number. I'm single. Have him contact me, And I was walking away. And so I texted my brother and a couple friends that evening. I said, hey, man, watch the news because I think it will be on there. And what it was, the way it was, he had went to this very conservative area. And when I watched it, well, first of all, I didn't watch it. I didn't catch it. I was busy. That's why I texted them. But anyway, they said, oh, yeah, you made it. My best friend. Hey, man, you're a damn nut. You made the news tonight. Let's say that. And I was like, oh, shit. When he says that, then I must have blown it up or something. Well, anyway, when I watched it back, because I went on whatever they played it on, the local affiliate, whatever you do on the web there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they had 3 other people that gave very conservative, well, a man and a wife, they shouldn't be with other people. And when you're in a relationship, you should be with all these conservative answers. And mine was, let them do what the hell they want to do. And by the way, I'm single. Give them my number, And they got the one little bit out there, I guess, to the left. I don't know. So it turned out. They blew it up. That's when someone on Facebook, I actually went to a show. That was the other thing. That's why I didn't watch it. I was at the show. And when I turned my phone back, and I just went as a fan to watch this show about actually up in West Virginia. And I was probably 30 minutes from home. And by the time I got home that night, I had my phone off driving. Man, my phone was blown up, and someone had put it on Facebook, and I copied a link. I said I come in and watched it later, because it had already been on that evening. But I was like, oh, my God, man, it was just too much. It was fun. But anyway.
That is hilarious. You know, I know why they didn't call you back. It's because you announced out loud you were single, and when you go to a swingers party, I understand they expect you to bring an appetizer with you.
Yeah, that makes sense. But you know what? Also, I found out a couple people that apparently had been there, and I said to myself, and I said it before because I said it on another podcast. But here's the deal, man. I fucked some of those girls in high school. I don't want to fuck them now. No, I'm just kidding, man. Let's put a disclaimer out there right now for today's podcast. You know, we're going to try to be somewhat respectful today. You know, we're going to have fun with it. I done one of these, a top five, not a top. Yeah, it was a top five actually. On Booking the Territory. So shout out to Mike Mills and the boys over there. They do the Smoky Mountain podcast. They said, I think they answered you to get ready to come back on Smoky Mountain TV pretty soon if you're watching or keeping up with that. So big shout out to them. I've done a top five. We had really fun with it. Of a little bit different way of approaching it. We're doing the, episode 34 called it Be My Valentine. We're going to have fun with it, folks, but it may be toned down just a little bit more than what you heard on Booking the Territory. So, but yeah, we'll have fun with them. I think we got something good today.
Yeah, we do. Before we start that, though, I do want to hit kind of a dark note just to get it out of the way as we are recording this and as it gets published this evening. It is February 10th, 2019. We are 16 years to the day that we lost the great Curt Hennig, Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, you brought that to my attention, man. What a tremendous performer. Tremendous body, tremendous interviews, and tremendous wrestler. Worker. That's why he was Mr. Perfect. I don't think you could have given that gimmick to anyone else. And from things I heard and from just being around him, he was a big old guy. We had talked about that before.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff he did on First Take is what I heard. You know, they said, it's legit. He just, shot the three, did the strike or whatever. Like, okay. And someone tells a story, I'm sure it's out there somewhere, where he just bowls a strike. I think it's on Regis and Kathy or something. They was like filming those shows, and he would do them like one take, man. So there's your Mr. Perfect. But yeah, may he rest in peace, man. Passed away on this day, February 10th, 2003.
Yeah, that's a hell of a loss. I mean, obviously to his family and his community, but to wrestling fans as well. I remember back when I was like 11, 12, 13, there was a New Year's Eve. ESPN aired a 1 hour Broadway between Curt Hennig and Nick Bockwinkel for the AWA title. It was like one of those matches where, like, this is the time I became convinced that they were the two greatest wrestlers ever, period.
I can see why.
Yeah, and it was just incredible. Now you go back and watch it now, tastes and styles have changed. I mean, they're in an Indian Deathlock for 9 minutes. Which these days would be hard to, you couldn't keep somebody's attention. Back then, the whole time you're watching that, you're thinking, shit, his knee's gonna snap. Nowadays, you'd be going like, would you fuckers move?
Yeah. So, yeah.
But I did want to cover that before we got started. Bobby, now that that's been brought up, what do we want to do? And then we'll talk about our Valentines from pro wrestling.
Yeah. I've just got one thing to say. I've got a little bit of a rant. I don't know. I'm just a little bit hot about it. And it's kind of, one of these things. But the Ron Burgundy show came out the other day, and I thought I'm going to give this a try and see what happens. And, of course, it's a spoof. I get it. And they're doing serial killers. And I'm sitting there listening to it, and so he's just spoofing on like this, and he's making up these people. But then he goes, okay, FMK, fuck, marry, kill, and they throw out. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on.
I didn't follow this. They did your bit?
They did my fucking bit, man. And listen to this. Yes, listen to this. They FMK'd, and they were serial killers. And they said they went Richard Ramirez, who I had, they had Ted Bundy, and they said Jeffrey Dahmer. And that fucking cannibalist psychopath made the list. And I was like, wait a minute here, man. And I said, you fucking left off John Wayne Gacy. You steal my fucking bit. You have to change it up just a little bit because they know, Ron Burgundy, if you're out there, Will Ferrell like you. Ron Burgundy, I'm going to kick your ass. Okay? Till you interview me because that's copyright and gimmick infringement, man. And I don't appreciate it. And they also, Jeremy, bought up colonoscopies. And I think when we've done this podcast, we're 34 into it right now. We've talked about my serial killer, fuck, marry, kill, yes.
Yeah.
And I talked about my colonoscopy.
Yeah.
Which was, thank goodness, clean. But here's the thing. They're fucking stealing gimmicks off the Bobby Blaze, Bell to Bell podcast with Bobby Blaze. And you know it, I know it. And I'm going to tell you, I went on You wait, the fucking WWE is going to have a mime come out before long, because I went on Facebook, that's why I don't go on there anymore, a long time ago, and I said, a flamenco dancer would be cool. Get someone out there doing these little fancy dances, and I'll be damned if they'd have that come on. I talked about a jockey before. They've had jockey. I'm telling you, you can't put your stuff out there because someone's going to do your damn copyright gimmick infringement, and I think they got me, Jeremy. I think not Ron Jeremy, fuck, I don't want him to get me.
No, you don't want him to get you.
No, hell no. I think Ron Burgundy got me, man. And that's my rant. I think Ron Burgundy stole my fuck, marry, kill, but
so
a lot of people.
You texted me, was it Thursday or Friday morning? You texted me about this.
Yes.
And now I can understand why I was having trouble following you, because you seemed quite upset that I didn't realize that they had fucking taken your bit. I thought you were saying you had done it again on there.
No, I'll go on their show.
Yeah. Well, because I got to tell you, because I don't know if I've told you this, I'm going to be on Rob and Slim this Wednesday.
Oh, I can't wait. What time?
It's going to be 5:30 Pacific time, so 8:30 Eastern time.
Yes. Okay, I'll listen.
Yeah, and I'm going to be on there live, and that Rob got a hold of me, and it sounds like he's not the one that played you off. It sounds like it's this fucking Slim, and I got some fucking words for him when I get on there. So, I'm just saying, if we got to get out there and start ruffling some fuckers up, you and I are the world's heavyweight tag team podcasting fucking wrestling personalities, and we'll fucking lay it down if we have to.
Damn right. All right. Well, you have a good time with Rob and Slim, and if you have to kick their ass. Mm-hmm. And Ron Jeremy, stay out of my ass. And Rob Burgundy, quit stealing my stuff, man.
Yeah. Fuck it. Get our lawyers to listen to that shit. Do you have that Erwin R. Shyster's phone number still?
No, because he kicked my ass, too.
Oh, shit. Okay, we'll have to find a new one. All right.
All right, let's get into this episode, man. Before we do, Jeremy, let's do one little thing real quick. Can you give me a little book promo?
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you, I'm going to tell you where they can find us at, and then you do a book promo, and we'll start our list. How's that?
That sounds great.
All right, so you can find Jeremy on Twitter, at the Geekish Cast. You can find me at Bobby Blaze 744, or you can follow the joint account, which Jeremy does about 98% of. It's now over 1,800 people, and it's Bell to Bell Blaze on Twitter. There's also a YouTube channel that you can listen or watch some of these videos. You talked about Kurt Hennig and Bockwinkel. I'm going to go look that up. That's the YouTube, but basically tinyurl.com/BBBB video. And so just kind of throwing those things out there. That's kind of what we're going on with. And Jeremy's going to tell you a little bit more. And I've kind of just jumped off the fucking page because I'm so riled up about the other shit. And we're going to start talking about these women. Oh, man, get me back in, Jeremy. Reel me in.
You got it. So, everybody, you can go check out the sponsor for our show is Bobby and his books. His first book is called Pin Me, Pay Me, Have Boots, Will Travel. And you can find that by going to tinyurl.com/blazebook1. It will take you right to its page on Amazon.com. It doesn't cost you anything more. It just gives us an affiliate link that we can sell the book from. Bobby gets a book sale. The show gets a little bit of money. That's the only reason you would go to it through that link instead of just finding it on your own. You can find Bobby's other book, I kicked out onto the education of a wrestler, by going to tinyurl.com/blazebook2. It is Valentine's. If somebody in your life loves pro wrestling, loves to hear stories about life behind pro wrestling, these are two great books to do it with. So check them out, buy them, give them to a loved one. If you already own them, buy 2 more copies and give them to your friends. It's time you showed your friends you love them too by buying Bobby's books.
Right on, man. Hell yeah. All right. Well, now we've got us riffraff out of the way.
Yes,
what do you say? Well, let's get to these Valentines, right?
Yeah. So we're gonna try to do this in as friendly a way possible, but I'm sure we're still gonna sound like a couple sexist pigs. I think the best thing to do is just own it and go with it.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. And also, we've done this a little bit different today. As if you hear us getting riled up, there's no script. We're not fucking back here, no one's handed us scripts, nothing like that. I have not seen Jeremy's list, nor has he seen mine this week. I will say this, Jeremy, I know you saw them. Several people hit us up with the hashtag BBBB. Some of the people, let's give a little shout out there to Tex. He's always putting his 2 cents in, and he does a tremendous job. His list was real close to mine. There was a couple other people. I don't want to go into all the people, but most of them had at least 3 or 4, because you can't go wrong with a solid core, and then some of them was a little bit newer,
Yep.
It was all good, man, because it just shows you that, we've got good taste.
Exactly.
So I don't think there's anyone because I have not seen your list. I saw some of the list that's posted on Twitter. I know my list, and here's the thing. I don't think there's anyone that you could say and would have been wrong. You know what I'm saying?
No, there are no
preference.
Yeah, there are no wrong answers on this quiz.
Right. So get ready for the quiz. I'm going to give you my number 10. How's that?
That sounds good.
I'm going to go with Lita.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you why. First of all, I liked her look,
Mm-hmm.
and I was impressed with her, just that look she had. But also, when she debuted her ring presence, I really admired that. She had a good body. Like, it wasn't like overly huge, and it wasn't small. She was in good wrestling conditioning shape. And just being a wrestler and being a wrestling fan, I liked her because she could actually perform. And I know, I'm not going to go and say, oh, yes, because she had this or had that. She was built very, very good. She was built proportionally. She's a beautiful lady, and she could also wrestle. And that's why I've got Lita at my number 10, because I like the way she could perform.
Yeah, and she was trained in a full-scale luchador style. I mean, she was fucking impressive.
Yeah, she was.
She wore her pants a little too baggy for my taste. So my number 10.
Okay.
My number 10 is going to be Victoria, a.k.a. Lisa Marie Verone, who is also called the Black Widow. She wrestled in TNA as Tara. Black hair, serious body, awesome in-ring ability and presence. Also, she was always compared to a Black Widow, which eats its mate, and I think would totally be worth it in this case.
Well, she's a beautiful lady.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you this, Black Widow eating her mate. I met her at WrestleCade. The only time I met her, she was set up across from me, and she was a sweetheart of a lady. And she's very, very beautiful in person.
Mm-hmm.
I was very impressed. That's a good one to come in at number 10, man. And I have to say, I follow her on Instagram. I know she stays booked. I know she's out there at these Comic Cons and things, WrestleCades and things like that. Just a sweetheart of a lady and very beautiful, man. Just it depends on what you like, but man, that's a good number 10.
I thought so.
Yeah.
You want me to do my number 9?
Yes, please.
All right, my number 9. This is one I had to struggle with a little bit because I do have a child that is older than her, but my number 9 is the beautiful and talented Tessa Blanchard.
Oh, man.
Not only is she gorgeous, she is this cocky, heel strutting, shit sneering badass in the ring. And her dad's basically her biological father, of course, is Tully Blanchard, but she was also raised by her stepdad, Magnum TA.
Man. Wow. That's good stock right there, right?
Yeah, that's your wrestling pedigree, but have you seen her? Holy
oh, yeah, I have.
Shit.
I've seen her. She's tremendous.
Yeah.
And I hope to see her perform one day live. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this, I've had a couple young ones on here. I've kind of switched my list around as to what I know, because I kind of had my top 5's always been kind of, it gives or take, but man, I didn't have that's a good number 9. I didn't have her on there, and that's my bad, man. Just pin me, pay me, Tessa, because, my bad, man. I'm just too old, I guess.
No, there's no such thing as a wrong answer here.
I know. All right. Well, I hope you like my number 9, man. My number 9, I remember when she came on the scene, and this is the look I like a lot, and that is Woman, man, Nancy.
Oh, yeah.
Sullivan. When she come on, I'm just going to leave it at that as far as names go. We'll just go with Woman.
Yep.
Man, she just had that look to her that I like, and she was just so attractive and beautiful. And that's my number 9, man. And she just, I actually, when I saw her, it was in a magazine, of course. That's the first time I saw her back in the day. So I was like, ooh, who's this woman? That's who it was. And then, I was watching the product and you start seeing, like, oh, okay, got it. One of those things.
Yeah,
so anyway, I think it was from Florida where I saw her, like updates or whatever, new on the scene kind of thing, up and comers or whatever. So she hadn't actually been at WCW when I actually saw her first picture. That's what I'm getting at. Just, it took me back. She's beautiful.
Oh yeah. No, she definitely was striking, especially the first couple times you saw her, you're like, holy shit, look at that. Yeah, we don't need to go further than that. That is a great choice. Yeah, she was really something. I mean, all the way through her career, she was always something to see in the ring. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Who'd you have as your number 8, Bobby?
You may not like my number 8 because I think you probably have her higher, but I have the beautiful and talented Miss Elizabeth.
Oh,
yeah, man. I got to give a big shout out to my Kentucky girls out there. She's from down there at Frankfort, Kentucky, and she's working at gym. She met the Macho Man, and the rest is history. Whatever, man. She's just a little doll baby. She's small, man, and just pretty and petite and always seems so sweet, man. You just, everyone knows all the stories, so I'm not even going all that stuff. I'm just saying, just when she come out and debuted on that TV, man, that she's the Macho Man's manager, what have you, Miss Elizabeth, man, that's my number 8.
Yeah, that is a good one. We'll save my comments about Miss Elizabeth.
Okay.
We'll see if maybe she comes up on my list. Who knows? My number 8 is Beulah McGillicuddy.
Man, that's one I don't know too much about.
Well, so, in story, she was the fat girl at camp that both Raven and Tommy Dreamer had a thing for, and grew up hot. So basically, she was like the childhood crush that comes back and like ruins everybody's life. And she was smoking hot, and I could definitely see beating somebody's ass over her. ECW, they really didn't treat their female characters as full characters. They were more set dressing, but they definitely knew what a pretty girl looked like. And Beulah is the top of that list, absolutely.
Right on, man. I like that name too, by the way.
Yeah.
I just didn't know a whole lot about her, but I appreciate that.
Check this out. If I was going to do that, if I was going to create that character and name her, I would have called her Beulah Lugosi.
Okay.
But I think the joke might have been too thin for most people.
Okay, gotcha. All right, let's move on to number 7, AJ Lee.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of, man, I had a crush on her for a long time, like just from afar, on TV or whatever. But I was watching the product then, and I was like, oh, man, but once again, I'll say this, she learned how to work, and I like that, so that, it's not that I wasn't attracted, but because I was, that's why she's on my list, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. One that knows me knows I love dark hair and dark eyes. So that's why all 40 so far have had brown eyes.
Yeah.
That's just me, because I'm just putting that out there right now, because you're going to see a trend there in just a minute. But yeah, so, say what you want. CM Punk, do your shoot fighting, whatever. But you know what? I'm going to give number 7 spot to AJ Lee, man.
No, that's a good one. Okay, so let me throw this name at you for my number 7.
Okay.
Stacy Keibler.
Legs.
Yeah.
She's got legs.
I have one note under my number 7, and it just says one word: legs.
I knew it.
Yeah. She wore skirts so tiny that they were just belts, basically. For a skinny blonde, she could shake her ass like nobody's business. And she probably did like the cleanest leaving wrestling and getting into a regular, showbiz career out of anybody ever. It's like she stops wrestling, starts dancing again, and next thing you know, she's dating George Clooney.
Exactly,
and
man.
That's like how you go, like, that's like dating George Clooney, just like you put equal sign legitimate stardom. And there you go. Yeah.
He's from Kentucky. I'm just saying.
Is he really?
Yes, he's from Augusta, Kentucky, down around Maysville. So, hell, I know he's married now, but hey, good choice there, man. Good choice.
No, Stacy Keibler her entire career was something to see. And,
sure. She's from Baltimore, by the way.
Oh,
she was Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, just stuck me just now. She was a Baltimore Ravens cheerleader, man.
That was probably a great career path for her, and I can't wait to see what video text comes up with the
double check that, fact check me, but I'm most positive she was.
Yeah, but I remember, what was it? She came out originally as Miss Hancock, she was one of the Nitro girls and then became Miss Hancock.
Okay, cool.
Holy shit! I'm at a loss for words. I better just move on to number 6 at this point.
Okay.
So my number 6 is Velvet Sky from TNA. from the beautiful
okay.
people. Let me just, I don't remember her wrestling career all that well, but let me just say, if you've never seen her in action, just go check out her ring entrance. And, there was a stunning, stunning young lady. I don't know if she was very classy necessarily in that role.
Yeah.
But
very beautiful lady.
But she was something else. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you want to hear my number 6?
Absolutely.
Well, I mentioned all the brown eyes there just now, and all those actually had brown eyes and darker hair. So I'm going to change it up a little bit here in the next couple. But my number 6, Trish Stratus.
Oh, that's, of course, a great one. Yeah.
That's where I switched over to, a little bit blonde there, a little bit blue eyes or whatever, man. But fitness model and just whole different style, man. That's my number 6.
Well, and for 15 or 20 years, the template of what ladies wrestling looked like.
Yeah. So that's my number 6. Who you have?
My number's, we already did mine. Mine was Velvet Sky.
Oh, shit, yeah. I'm sorry. Oh, you know what we need to do probably? Let me go back.
Yep.
I had number 10. I'm going to do mine, then you do yours. I had number 10 as Lita. Number 9 was Woman. Number 8 was Miss Elizabeth. And I lost track. Number 6 was AJ Lee. Number 7 was AJ Lee. And number 6 was Trish. I cannot say that word, I swear, Stratus.
Yep.
So what was yours again? Go ahead and lay them out there for us.
Number 10 was Victoria. Number 9, Tessa Blanchard. Number 8, Beulah McGillicuddy. Number 7, Stacy Keibler. And number 6, I have Velvet Sky.
So we have no crossovers yet. So
Not
that's really
yet.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with that said, let me just put this out there real quick, man. Jeremy, you like Amazon Prime?
I love my Amazon Prime.
I do too. And you know what? Both my books are eligible. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you can get free shipping on both of them. But I'm not plugging the book. What I'm going to plug is this. You can get a free 30-day trial by going to tinyurl.com/bb-try-prime. The show gets a little bit of kickback out of that. Give us a click. Sign up for your free 30-day membership. It doesn't cost you. You can cancel after 30 days, but give it a try. But use the tinyurl.com/bb-try-prime and see what you think, man. Because you can tell them a little more about Prime. I just told them about my books, but you can get all kinds of other stuff. Tell them, Jeremy.
Oh, yeah. On Amazon Prime, you have free videos that you can stream. You get free shipping. For those of us who are old school wrestling fans, they still have a lot of the old Memphis video available for free streaming on there right now. I have not checked it out yet, but it looks like they also have access to other indie streaming wrestling stuff through their, I believe it's called Body Slam or Power Slam network, which you can actually get free for 5 days, and then it's only $6 a month after that. But if you already have Prime, it obviously cheapens it up quite a bit. So this will give you 30 days to try Prime out, free shipping, free streaming. It's really a no-lose scenario. If you don't have it, give it a shot. It's good stuff.
Absolutely, man. I love mine too. With that said, man, we're heading into the top 5 here. So, you want me to go?
Yes, you go ahead.
This one here has been on one of our lists before. I think a couple of these have, but I'm going to give her props because she was just good looking, built good, but just a tremendous performer, and that's Medusa or Alundra Blaze. I know she can't spell my name. Maybe I need to look here. She can whip my ass. Mm-hmm. So here's the deal. I'll change the spelling if I have to. Medusa. I'm just saying, drive me, hit me up a damn big monster truck if that's what it takes. Because to me, she's in my top 5, man, and just because just an athlete, she's just a tremendous athlete, and I'm giving her props for that. And she's a gorgeous looking lady too. So, there you go.
Yeah, that is definitely a great choice. My number 5, and this is going to be an odd one because sometimes one of my favorite games to play is what's hotter, white trash chicks or goth chicks? So my number 5 choice is Daphne Unger.
Oh man, what a choice.
Yeah, the Scream Queen. Especially, like her earlier days of TNA and, the last days of WCW when she was really getting into it and dressing all sorts of crazy over the top when she was doing her zombie hot was what they called it.
Yeah.
Definitely something. Nobody else at that time really had the same look. Definitely a lot of fun. A crazy character, crazy chick playing a crazy character. Not a terrible wrestler, not the best, but she could hold her own in a half-ass way, and I loved watching her.
I thought I liked her. I liked her look, man. I liked the gimmick. I liked the look. That's a tremendous choice, man. Tremendous choice. Wow, Daphne. The Scream Queen, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, right on, man. Good choice. Who you got for number 4?
Number 4. This is one that a lot of people are going to just like wonder why it's so low on my list. And the only reason she didn't rank higher is because she's going to be number 1 or 2 on everybody else's list. And I just don't like to do things that way. Sunny. I mean, just holy shit, was there anybody hotter than her in her time period in wrestling, in Smoky Mountain, in WWE? Was there anything that even held a candle to her?
No. The answer is no. That's all my comment for Sunny is right now. Yep. No. What a fucking choice, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Good deal. You want to hear my number 4?
I do. What do you got?
You're going to like this because you're going to have the same reaction I had for Sunny. Missy Hyatt.
Oh, goddamn.
Bring out the teenager in you right there, brother.
That's it.
Man, that's my number 4, Missy Hyatt. Missy Hyatt. I ain't even want to do it, man. Woo. Yeah. All right, Sunny. Wow, number 4, man. I'm glad she's in the top 5. Wow, beautiful girl. And then Missy Hyatt at number 4. I'm glad we haven't had crossover.
I didn't.
But I think we're going to.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I know that we're going to start seeing a couple of the names, but what'll be interesting to me is the ranking numbers.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're going to see a couple of the same names now, but we're going to have them in slightly different order. And honestly, I felt a little funny going with Sunny because of you and Chris Candido's relationship.
Oh, no, it's all good.
I know, but it's one of those things that, like, as I'm, like, writing my list, that is in my head a little bit, going, hey,
okay,
fucking be careful what you say here, dude,
yeah. Oh, man. You cool, it's good, it's all good.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to give you my number 3 now.
Okay, top 3.
Yeah, number 3, Miss Elizabeth. And okay, so in her day, there was no woman in wrestling as attractive as she was. 2, there was nobody, wrestlers or managers included, who could sell with their facial expressions what was going on in the ring better than she could. There was nobody more sympathetic, and there was nobody that looked better in a glittered dress than her. Period.
Yeah. When I had her up there at number 8, I mean, it was hurting my heart to put her up that number. But man, I'm glad you had her up there because I knew you was a fan of her. I knew you thought the world of her. Mm-hmm. And man, that is. Hey, that's top of the line, number 3 for sure. Like you said, there's no wrong answers on this quiz, kiddies. It's what personal preference is, and I like that one, Jeremy. Very good choice. Very good choice, man. Anything else about Miss Elizabeth?
No, just a shame what ended up happening to her, but we're covering good things today, not sad ones.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right on, man. Well, my number 3 is Marlena.
Oh,
man, yeah. That's my number 3. Don't have a whole lot to say other than, man, she just was.
I will say this for a cigar smoking weirdo, she was hot, and those Rhodes boys sure know what a pretty girl looks like.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There could have been several other people on all these lists, and we all know that. But I just remember watching at that time. I was in the business, of course, and oppositions and what have you. But you always watch the other person's product because you're a fan, and also you want to keep up the ratings and see what's going on. And you want to be, have a good time. And you're sitting there, and you might be off that week, and you see this, and like she obviously had been around to different character development over the years. But, man, that Marlena, when she debuted at that, like I said, I know she'd been around, meaning, the wrestling business, wrestling industry. But, man, when she done that character, it was just something that really got me on that one. So that's kind of my story why I had her at number 3, because at that time, the way I reacted, wow, what a character here.
Oh,
and that cigar, and it's good, man. It's good. So,
no, that is a great choice.
Yeah. What's what we got next here? We're coming up on number 2.
Yeah. Why don't you give us your number 2?
My number 2. Okay, man. Oh, man. I think this girl she's the bomb, man. Paige. Woo. Oh, I know. Man. Nothing but respect. I remember when she came out, and I was like, oh, my goodness, man. And I had kind of known a little bit about her family, and I know there's a movie coming out, Fight With My Family and all that. So anyway, man, she's just beautiful. And when I was in England, I've actually met her mom and dad and blah, blah, blah. I traveled over there. I worked for some different promoters, and her dad would come in, and he'd come on a couple shows. Ricky Knight did, and blah, 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 and her mom. And she managed one of the brothers back then and come out with us at a match, blah, blah, blah. I'm just kind of fast forward here. But she would have been a lot younger then. So I'm fast forwarding to a couple years ago when WWE came through, and I was backstage, and very fortunate to do that. But anyway, man, she comes in, and I was like, oh, man, she's more beautiful than I thought she was, because I'd only seen her on TV at that time. And even though she would have been born back then, she would have been a young, very young girl, because I'm probably her parents' age, So with that said, when she come in, very professional, but man, Shane Storm, shout out to you up there, brother. He popped too, man. We both just popped, man. And the thing is, I talked to her, and she was so kind and so sincere. We talked about when I was over there in England, she actually knew the promoter I worked for, and which is obvious, her father worked. And we just it was really nice to connect with someone without feeding them a lot of bullshit or try to, get over with them. But she just talked to me as one of the boys, and I like that. Because she knew, this guy's not full of shit. I'm meeting him up in West Virginia somewhere on the road, because it's hard to tell me how many people she's met, you know what I'm saying? But she gets it like, this guy's probably old enough to be my dad. But he's been to England. He's worked some of these towns. Because we talked for, 5 or 10 minutes, whatever it was, because they're busy, man. They got a whole lot of shit to do backstage. I get it. But, man, I thought, wow. She wasn't as dolled up or made up like they do, all that makeup and stuff they do in the Divas and high def and all that. So in person, she was just as beautiful, not all made up, very well built. And I was just like, wow, man. When she came on the scene, I was just a fan. I'm attracted to her. I like the dark hair. I like the dark eyes. And that's just me. That's my number 2, Paige.
Yeah, I think that's a solid choice. Now, see, my thing with Paige is I didn't know who she was until her personal videos leaked. And I try to go out of my way to not watch shit like that when I find out it's been stolen from people, basically.
Can I interrupt you?
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. I've not watched. I've had people even tell me when those videos leaked. Out of respect for her and her family, I've clicked on, I've watched stuff, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, man, I just don't want to, want to see this. You know what I'm saying? That's just, you would think, Bobby, really? Yeah, I saw a couple of seconds of this and that, where this leaked, and I'm, oh man, I can't, I don't think of her that way. I know it's crazy. I just don't think of her that way. I just think she is a beautiful girl, and Paige, be my Valentine. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, and you're not.
I didn't want to think I was creeping, man.
No, I didn't think that at all. I'm just giving a quick explanation that because I didn't know who she was until those videos came out. Yeah. And I try not to watch shit like that is stolen. It's one thing to record and publish your own naked pictures. It's another to have them stolen and released. I just don't think you should. So I literally have seen a couple still pictures of Paige, and that is it in my life. I don't know her. She's a very pretty girl, but I know less about her than almost any other human being on the planet. I think it's a damn good choice on your part. She's a beautiful, beautiful woman from what I've seen. I just don't know her at all,
Yeah, I got you. And I think we both have been very respectful in saying that.
Yeah.
So cool.
My number 2, and I'm going to cheat a little bit here, Bobby.
Okay.
My number 2 is Kimberly Page and the Nitro Girls.
Okay, man.
Now, the reason I'm doing that is because Kimberly was so fucking hot that when they decided to dial up her sex appeal a little bit, the only way they could do it was by adding 10 more hot women. That was like they had nowhere to go. Yeah. They're just like, all we can do is increase quantity because we can't do anything higher with quality.
Yeah.
And I've heard other people say this. I believe Conrad has said it on his show. How good of a fucking salesman is DDP?
Man, wow. And that's it. That's it, man. I was thinking this the other day because I was going through my list, and I was thinking I couldn't, and maybe you can bring this up. He had just not that, but when he his character development through the years, DDP, is like he had those girls with him all the time back in the day. He's always with these hot chicks that come out to the ring with him, the Diamond Exchange or whatever it was. I'm just kind of, whatever that is. But anyway, I'm thinking to myself, man, props off the DDP. This is no lie. What a tremendous choice. Kimberly was very beautiful because she was around the night. I was around all those Nitro girls and, you know, saw them all, you know, about every Monday night and whatever, whether I was on the air, I wasn't even, you know, just you're backstage, you know, so you have to be there. And, you know, you're going to catering this, that. She's just, man, what a beautiful lady. Tremendous. But, man, like you said, man, props off to DDP. What a salesman, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I just remember the first time I saw her, you're just like, holy shit, look at that. Look at that homeless guy she's with. What the fuck? And then there were like periods where like wrestling was starting to bum me out, but fuck it, Kimberly will be on there. I'll check it out.
There you go, man. Tremendous choice, brother. Tremendous. So you want to go ahead and give us your number one? Or you want me to give you my number one? Because I think you might want to give yours.
I'll go ahead and do mine.
Okay, let me twist your arm just a little bit.
Oh, God damn.
Okay.
All right. Well, since
I work stiff, man. It's business only. Business only. Business only.
Since you all have twisted my arm, I got to say my number one is Missy Hyatt.
Dude, I had no idea. I didn't think you would put her at number one. I kept thinking, who is he going to have at number one?
Well, so you know, when I do my list, a lot of times I try not to go look at other people's lists and shit. I just try to go, what is foremost in my mind? Like, I don't even want reality to get in the way. I just want my memories, my emotions to kind of write the list. And I got to tell you, when I was probably, I don't know, when UWF came out, when I was, 14.
The right age.
Yeah, and Missy was Eddie's that was Eddie's chick, you know, and then she rolls into WCW. When WCW sucked, and the only thing to watch on there was Missy being an interview chick and bursting into Stan's fucking dressing room, watching him get upset. Like, you don't have to pretend, dude. Nobody's upset that Missy Hyatt burst into the dressing room.
Yeah.
She literally, like I was saying about Kimberly, when wrestling was in one of its down phases, my pubescent body chemistry kept me turning the channel back to see Missy Hyatt. And when I think about like who were the hottest chicks, like who are the two hottest chicks I can think of in wrestling, Missy and Sunny. Boom, boom, right off the top of my head.
Golly. See, here's the thing, man. I had to do it when I done my list, my 3 and 2. I kept thinking, man, do I put Missy up there at number 2? I mean, I just kind of, you know, so I had her at 4. Man, hats off, props to you. Number 1, Missy Hyatt. That's great. I mean, you can't go wrong, like you said.
No.
With that said, man, my number 1, you ready?
Yes, I am.
Sunny, man.
Yep.
Sunny. Oh, man, I'm telling you. The girl, you know, man, I've seen her, I don't mean this disrespect, but I've seen her before tits and with tits, man. And, you know, no disrespect to Chris. Everyone knows what the deal is, whatever. Man, to me, I met her when she like 20, turning 21 years old. She had these beautiful brown eyes, you know, and she had this blonde hair, which I really like that look. I like the dark hair and the dark eyes. But the brown eyes get me, and hers could melt you. And then I see her, I kept seeing her, you know, each week, 2 and 3, 4 times a week sometimes. And then it's just, and this is like young, innocent, you know, blah, 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 until I still keep seeing, and till I see a whole lot more than what I need to see. And that's all I'm going to say. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, man. And Sunny's just, to me, back in the day, that was then of course when she got to WWF or WWE, whatever, and blew up big time there, you know, for mic skills and just that body and her smile and the right name, man, you know, that was just the right name to have for her, at that time. It's just, man, she's number 1 on my list, but man, that's just me, and I'm just going to leave it at that, Jeremy. That's my number 1, Sunny. And total respect for Missy Hyatt.
Yeah, wow. That is, like I said, Sunny would have been my number 1 or number 2, except I know that 99% of the people, when they sit down to write this list, they're going to put Sunny as number 1 and number 2, or number 2. Also, like, there are a whole lot of younger women wrestling today, but in my effort to not come across as a dirty old man, I left off like Brandy Rhodes, Bailey. Fucking Sasha Banks. Let's just, the whole WWE roster, they're all 24 and gorgeous. Yeah.
I did the same thing. That's one of the things I did is like, I think, Sasha is drop dead. You know, like, whoa. The only young one I had on here was Paige. AJ maybe, but still, I'm just looking at these younger girls. I'm thinking they're beautiful. Brandy's beautiful, man. I think she is beautiful. But also, I knew on my list, because I saw several of the other ones, I'm glad we didn't have a lot of crossover, but I think we just had Missy Hyatt and Sunny and Miss Elizabeth. So we had Miss Elizabeth, we had Missy Hyatt, and we had Sunny. That was it.
Yeah.
So I did the same thing. I tried not to go with the obvious, but also I kept seeing people sending me lists, and I kept seeing Sunny at the top of it. You know? And then I saw these young girls, like I said, and I was like, no disrespect to any of those, Sasha Banks or anyone else, but it's like, just kind of borderline here, man. Yeah. So, there's no wrong answers though.
No, absolutely not. And the other thing is, this is our Be My Valentine. These are the chicks we had crushes on in wrestling.
Oh yeah.
You'll notice that we both, we all went with, except one on each of us, they're all age appropriate. They're within an age range for our ages. So, we were responsible. And, hey, the other thing, Bobby, I think we can give ourselves the old Barry Horowitz pat on the back for. Not one of us made the I've seen her wrestle, but I'd love to see her box joke. Nobody made that joke today.
Okay.
I think we deserve some credit for that, because you want to talk about a layup. That was it right there.
That's a slam dunk.
Yeah. So we deserve some credit for that. And, your list was great. You want to cover yours one more time, just so we remember who everybody was?
Oh yeah. My top 10, Be My Valentine. Paige, if you're out there, honey. Woo. No, I'm just kidding. Sunny was actually close by last weekend in this area, but I wasn't available. So there you go. But anyway, she's dating someone. Go figure. All right. My number 10, Lita. Number 9, Woman. Number 8, Miss Elizabeth. Number 7, AJ Lee. Number 6, Trish Stratus. Number 5, Medusa. Number 4, I should have had her higher, Missy Hyatt, man. Number 3, Marlena. Number 2, Paige. And my number 1 all-time Be My Valentine, Tammy Sytch, Sunny. Be My Valentine, baby girl.
Yeah. We only have 10 spots to fill, and these are not easy lists to make all the time. That's one of the things I got to point out. Sometimes we do hit this point. I got to say, I was talking to a friend of the show this week, a listener, and we were talking about Sunny, and he goes, I've seen pictures of her recently. He goes, yeah, she's older and she's heavier. He goes, but I'd hit that like the fist of an angry god.
There you go, man.
Oh,
You'd have to.
It's Sunny. Of course you would. Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, she's like the Lonnie Anderson of wrestling. I don't care how old she gets. She's still looking pretty fucking good.
Yeah. I'm leaving all my stuff right there for what I said, because sometimes what happens on the road, you just get whatever, man. What happens in locker rooms, I'm not saying I've been there, just so you know.
Yep.
Don't go in and say, oh, Bobby said this about Sunny. I don't want any heat with her or nothing like. I'm just saying, there's a lot of stuff I won't reveal because that's professionalism. And I don't, I think her life, she can do what she wants. She's still my little sweetheart of a Valentine girl, and I like that. I'm going to keep it there because in my mind, I know where she's at right there.
There you go.
Respectful.
Absolutely. So just to cover mine again, number 10, Victoria. Number 9, Tessa Blanchard. Number 8, Beulah McGillicuddy. 7 is Stacy Keibler. 6, Velvet Sky. 5, Daphne Unger. 4, Sunny. 3, Elizabeth. 2, Kimberly, and number 1 is Missy Hyatt.
Man, that's the truth. That list is wonderful. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Awesome list. You can't go wrong, guys. Hit us up at the Bell to Bell Blaze podcast with who you think who you would like to be your Valentine, because as Jeremy mentioned earlier, we're recording this on the 10th for Valentine's Day, so it's not too late to hit us up on a list at BBBB. And I think, Jeremy, you're going to close us out because I know there's some stuff at the end there. They'll give you all the links and contacts and blah, blah, blah. But I want to say this to everyone out there. I hope everyone out there has a nice Valentine's Day. family. If you have a wife or a girlfriend, be good to her. If you're down by the Swingers Club in Ashland and you need someone to hook up with, you know where I'm at. Just give me a call. And that's that. And that's I don't know nothing. Get me out of here, Jeremy.
All right, everybody. We appreciate you all tuning in. It has been our pleasure to have you, but it's been your pleasure to listen to Bell to Bell with Bobby Blaze. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Bell to Bell with Bobby Blaze. You can follow the show on Twitter at Bell to Bell Blaze. You can also follow Bobby on Twitter at BobbyBlaze744 and Jeremy on Twitter at The Geekish Cast. To purchase one of Bobby's books, you can visit tinyurl.com/blazebook1 to purchase Pin Me, Pay Me, Have Boots, Will Travel. And you can visit tinyurl.com/blazebook2 to get I Kicked Out on 2, The Education of a Wrestler. To donate to the show's podcast hosting fees, you can visit gofundme.com/Bell to Bell podcast hosting fees. Be sure to include a hyphen in every word in Bell to Bell podcast hosting fees. If you follow and listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, please leave a 5-star review. Be sure to share the show with any wrestling fan you may know, and get on the Facebook page where you can keep up with Bell to Bell fans just like you. Again, thanks for listening to the program, and look for the show again next time.